Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we are specifically going to talk about how a dungeon master you should use Disney Lorcana cards in a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. So, first of all, you're like, wait a second, you're explaining how? Yes, I'm explaining how, but you're like, well, why? Right? Well, I already have a video for that. So, just if you don't know why you would use Disney Lorcana in your D&D campaign, just circle back one or two videos. It's right there. And you'll find my video on why every dungeon master should immediately begin using Disney Lorcana cards in their Dungeons and Dragons campaign. All right, so how? Right? It's a great question, right? So first of all, what we would do to use the Disney Lorcana cards in our Dungeons and Dragons campaign is very carefully look at those cards and look at the characters. I think we should do this with the characters first, right? They're the most natural. There's going to be a need for them in the D&D campaigns, and the transition is going to be the easiest. So do yourself a favor as a dungeon master. Bring the characters over first, okay? And also, you may not even, well, actually, so we're going to talk about three specific characters in Disney Lorcana, and how and why and how we will bring them over. All right. So let's talk about Rafiki. So Rafiki is a Disney Lorcana card, and this is how you would use him in Dungeons and Dragons. So first of all, Rafiki is already a multiversal character within his own world, right? So we see Rafiki meditating and levitating, and he is clearly communicating with the stars, right? He's already like reaching out with a universal attempt to connect, right? And so when he looks up at the stars in Lion King, it's very easy to understand that, using his meditation and using his already powerful ability to communicate at almost at a mystical level, right? That he could reach out to a spelljammer ship, right? And that means, literally the sky above him could very easily be connected to the astral sea, right? So once you do that, you can have him start to communicate with spelljammer captains, spelljammer navigators, spelljammer gunners, Gith Yankees, plasmoids, and I honestly think that's actually enough. I would not even bring Rafiki over into the realms. I would have Rafiki begin to aid people in Faerun and people in any Dungeons and Dragons realm that can be reached from from a space galleon in the astral sea, right? That Rafiki doesn't even need to be physically present to have a powerful impact on your Dungeons and Dragons campaign. So that's how I would use Rafiki. Next, let's talk about Beast from Beauty and the Beast. So Beast from Beauty and the Beast, you think about him, what is he? How does he communicate? What does he care about, right? He's noble, he's brave, he's an adventurer, right? And clearly, the people who are going to need him most are the shifters on Eberron. The shifters on Eberron are incredibly put upon. The Silver Flame is dedicated to their destruction, right? So they're going to need a powerful leader. They're going to need someone who can keep their spirits up. They're going to need someone who's talented with music, who has sound intelligence, and has a noble spirit. So Beast from Beauty and the Beast, his logical place for him to show up is to aid the shifters in Eberron. Let's talk about Alladin, right? Alladin is a powerful, fast, rogue-like character, right? And where would he be brought over? Where would he be needed in the Dungeons and Dragons realms? And I think where he would be needed most is Exandria. And one of the great things is, why do we need to bring these characters over? Well, the Dungeons and Dragons design team have solved that problem. They have made sure that every single Dungeons and Dragons realm that has been brought into the current edition, right, has massive strife, right, is needing help from even beyond their own universe. The multiverse. There is a Dungeons and Dragons multiverse, which connects to the Lego multiverse, which connects to the Magic multiverse, which connects to the Funko Pop universe, right? And so, and our designers have made these Dungeons and Dragons realms so dangerous and in so need of aid that it logically makes sense to bring Alladin directly over into Exandria. Now, where I think he would end up first in Dwendalia, right? And I think he would push back in against Dwendalian leadership, and give them headaches exactly the same way he did to Jasmine's father, right? And to the authority figures within Agrabah. So that's how we begin to use 3 different examples of Disney Lorcana. We talked about why. Now we've talked about how. I'd love to hear what your plans are to bring Disney Lorcana directly to your Dungeons & Dragons campaign table, because of the invitation that's been made for well over a decade between Disney and Hasbro to connect literally and figuratively their worlds and take D&D canon and mix it with D&D with Disney content. And so I'm very appreciative of their request for this, and I'm excited to fulfill it. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.